Now, the first thing I saw was a New York Times article. A New York Times article that was, of course, locked behind the New York Times paywall. So that's what Internet Archive is for. That's what the Wayback Machine is for. So we have access to that. But here's the headline. A disparaging video prompts explosive fallout within ESPN. And this is like our thumbnail qualities. Look at this. You got Rachel Nichols over here. You got Maria Taylor over here. You got all these cucks back here in the background.
All we're missing is a screaming SJW, man.
I know. They need to put it right here, actually.
Yeah.
Is where the screaming SJW should go. In comments still rippling through the network, the reporter Rachel Nichols, who is white, said Maria Taylor, who is black, earned the job to host the 2020 NBA Finals coverage because ESPN was, quote, feeling pressure on diversity.
Yes.
And you know what the funny thing is? Rachel Nichols is right. But she's not allowed to say that because Rachel Nichols has been playing the woke game for a very long time. And she knows better. She knows she could never have said anything like that openly. So she didn't say it openly. It was behind closed doors, like all of these people operate.
We said it for the longest time, man. The woke will eat the woke.
Yep, they will. And now
every single time.
She is going to be labeled a racist. She's going to be... I
already saw an article. There's an article already out there saying it was racist.
Oh, yeah. She's about to be destroyed, and it's beautiful. And I don't feel any sympathy for her whatsoever. Not even the slightest bit of sympathy. This is beautiful. And we got audio right here.
Yeah, we do. This is Clay Travis. When Rachel Nichols lost her TV job to Maria Taylor because of diversity pressure, who was her first call? LeBron's top advisor. We've been telling you about Rachel Nichols and LeBron James for a long time now, how they're pretty close. They're very close, especially when you see these behind the scenes, how close they seem to be. Very interesting. Squeaky clean LeBron, isn't he? LeBron's top advisor. If you ever wonder why LeBron gets a free pass for his idiocy, here you go. ESPN's talent working with him. Let's listen. This is about a minute long.
They said to me, hey, instead of hosting the NBA Finals, why don't you do Doris' sideline reporter job for the NBA Finals? Because guess what that would clear the way for? For Maria to do the hosting. Yeah. So, I have declined. I don't know what their next move is, but they are feeling pressure because of all of that, and I'm trying to figure out how to just, my thing is that I wish Maria Taylor all the success in the world. She covers football, she covers basketball. If you need to give her more things to do because you're feeling pressure about your crappy long-time record on diversity, which by the way I myself know personally from the female side of it, go for it. Just find it somewhere else. You're not gonna find it with me.
Find it somewhere else. You're not going to find it with me. I will not give up my job, even though I've been screaming about representation and uplifting black voices. I'm not going to give up my voice for that. I am Rachel Nichols. Holy fuck.
This is that left-wing white liberal logic right there, where they want to tell you how,
Bingo.
They want to sit there and preach about how everyone else needs to lose their job. Everyone else needs to lose their position, but not me. I'm not going to step aside for a black person. No.
Yeah.
God damn. I love this. This is so good. Fuck ESPN.
But she was right. I got to give her credit. She was correct.
Yeah.
And we knew it.
Well, yeah, because a lot of these people, they're not just stupid. Right? They're not like stupid people. They are disgusting, evil, vile liars and manipulators of the truth. They will do everything they can to hide from you what the truth actually is so they can put out their narrative. This is what you have when you open up the curtain and see what's going on. They know that they are doing this all about diversity and inclusion or whatever. And this person, even though putting on a facade of, I love black people, I care about social justice, she doesn't want to give up her voice to uplift a black person's voice. How dare you, Rachel Nichols? It's so fucking hilarious.
Yep. It is. And like Ryan was saying, you know, like they do know what they're doing. They're not stupid people, but they also when people like we call it out, or Clay Travis or anyone that calls it out, they go crazy and they start calling you all of these names and labeling you all of these things because they are terrified of the truth coming out. They are terrified of it. And that's when you see that desperation lock in with these weirdos. Good Lord, this is beautiful. We're going to cover this like crazy. This is our new Brie Larson for this channel right here. Holy shit, man.
It is. Bitches be crazy. It should be the title of this stream, but I don't know if YouTube would have liked that. But this is a long art. Like, look at this article. This is from interviews with like a dozen former or current ESPN employees about the situation, how this has caused this rift with Maria Taylor. Jeremy, you did a video earlier. I know Black and White's been covering it too, about Maria Taylor thinking she needs to get paid like Stephen A. Smith. What has allowed her to do that is the fact that this video got out there and everyone at ESPN knows about it. Like this recorded audio. So there has been this rift, and Maria Taylor has been emboldened by ESPN, knowing that she can push the limit. She can say whatever she wants, and they're not going to do anything to her because she knows that there are people at the company that behave like this behind closed doors. It is a slippery slope. And now you got Maria Taylor just a few weeks away from her contract expiring, and ESPN has completely lost control.
Imagine it being in an environment and again, there's a lot of these environments out there, but imagine just being in that environment where it's all about identity politics. It's all about like the social justice nonsense, knowing that it's going to eat you alive next. You know what I mean? And that's why somebody like Rachel Nichols feels the need to pander so damn hard, because she's always like, oh, look, I said I love black people. You know, I've been an ally. I've been an advocate. And they didn't mean a word of it. And now you found yourself in a position where it's already come for you. And now all of that bullshit that she's been spewing, all of that diversity and inclusion and representation bullshit. And again, what I've always said, nobody, generally speaking, has a problem with diversity. No one has a problem with that. People have a problem with weaponized diversity. The fact that you're trying to push narratives, the fact that when it comes out of somebody's mouth, genuinely, when someone is not saying it in a sarcastic way, when they're just saying how much they are for diversity and inclusion and representation, you know that person is full of shit. They have something to hide, and they don't mean what they're saying, because no one with a working brain, no one that's normal, actually thinks like that. Nobody. Go back to all of your time at school, at work, at whatever. Have you ever had a conversation with a coworker about the importance of diversity? No, you haven't, because normal people don't talk like that. Normal people don't think like that. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody. And when you hear these media people pushing this bullshit, you know that they are fake and they are lying.
Yep. And the reason that this got recorded, I know there's some confusion over that. This goes all the way back to the NBA bubble last year, when they were set up in hotels. They were in quarantine to get ready for the bubble, and ESPN had all the broadcasting equipment in her like hotel room. And she was on this phone call, and she didn't realize that all that stuff was still rolling and still being recorded by ESPN. So that is how this happened. This is another thing that she said during this conversation. I just want them to go somewhere else. It's in my contract, by the way. This job is in my contract in writing. After saying all of these things, I want to show you something that Mendelsohn said. He strategized with Nichols, says, be careful because that place is a snake pit. Talking about ESPN. They considered a move that Mendelsohn described as baller but hard to pull off, telling Pitaro and others that having two women competing over the same job was a sign of ESPN's wider shortcomings with female employees.
Wow.
But listen to this one. Those same people who are like generally white conservative male Trump voters is part of the reason I've had a hard time at ESPN, Nichols said during the conversation. I basically finally just outworked everyone for so long they had to recognize it. I don't want to then be a victim of them trying to play catch up for the same damage that affected me in the first place. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to just be nice. Multiple
What?
Black ESPN employees said they told one another after hearing the conversation that it confirmed their suspicions that outwardly supportive white people talk differently behind closed doors. This
Oh my
is
God.
Wow.
amazing.
I didn't know about that last part.
That is so
About the
beautiful
Trump
right
voters.
there.
I did not know about that. That's probably another video for itself.
Yeah, there's a lot here, guys. There is a lot here. Including the response, right? Within ESPN, many employees were outraged upon watching the video. They were upset by what they perceived as Nichols' expression of a common criticism used by white workers in many workplaces to disparage non-white colleagues. That Taylor was offered the hosting position only because of her race, not because she was the best person for the job. Oh, this is amazing. This is a 20-minute conversation that the Times got that they're reporting on, by the way.
This is beautiful.
Why are they're bringing George Floyd into it now?
Taylor, who had recently gained widespread acclaim for on-air comments about the murder of George Floyd by a police officer, was fed up because she'd also been disparaged recently by at least one other ESPN colleague for speaking about Floyd. She says she would not finish covering the season. Listen to this. I would not call myself a victim, but I certainly have felt victimized, and I do not feel as though my complaints have been taken seriously. This is the first time I heard from HR after 2 incidents of racial insensitivity was to ask if I leaked Rachel's tape to the media. I would never do that. Simply being a front-facing Black woman at this company has taken its toll physically and mentally.
She was just offered $5 million a year. She was just offered $5 million a year.
Jeremy, that's shut up money. That's to make her happy. That's what this is. That's why all this is happening now. That's why she's asking for Stephen A. Smith money, because Maria Taylor is now pressuring ESPN about this. I think that is why this has all come out recently, because Maria Taylor's decided she's just going to fucking leak it openly. That's personally what I think is happening, but that's why she's asking for $8 million fucking dollars. That is why. Wow. Mark my words. It's because of all of these things. In Taylor's view, ESPN executives agreed to the stipulation that she would host NBA Countdown, but didn't want Rachel Nichols on the show. She said ESPN agreed to it, but violated almost immediately by allowing Nichols to make short appearances without interacting with Taylor. Holy shit. Taylor, meanwhile, has become increasingly comfortable with expressing her views within the company. In the spring, she admonished executives for appointing a game coverage team for the NCAA Women's Final Four that did not include any Black women, and pressured the company to add, this is an actual name, LaChina Robinson.
You cannot make this shit up here. That person is actually named LaChina. Oh my God.
No.
Wow.
Taylor has also given Malika Andrews, who is Black, a bigger role on NBA Countdown, which directly led to the latest internal tug of war. To avoid having Taylor and Nichols interact, all of Nichols' appearances were pre-recorded, but often in a way to make segments appear as though they aired live. This is so deep, guys. Like, this is like a conspiracy.
Yeah. Clay Travis is going to rip this apart. We're going to rip this apart. Black and white. This is beautiful. Look how long this goes.
I know.
Wow.
Like, this is crazy.
Shit.
Taylor's contract with ESPN expires in less than 3 weeks, and it looks increasingly likely that those could be her last weeks at the network.
Woo!
Well, think of this. Why would she actually want to stay at ESPN if it's that bad when it comes to racism, basically, what she's saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why would she want to stay there anyway?
So she can keep playing the victim card. Yeah, and she can still play the victim card. So
exactly. Now look at this pressure that's out here now. Now all of this stuff, what's going to happen if ESPN doesn't bow to her wishes? It might just continue on and on and on. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know that Maria Taylor is a huge woke piece of shit that uses her skin color as leverage, that Rachel Nichols is a huge woke piece of shit who outwardly says one thing but does another behind the scenes, and that ESPN is now trying to control the fallout from this cat fight that is going on. all because they've decided to play the game of identity politics and social justice, and it's coming to bite them in the ass.